scholar, and I have studied and written about Chinese history, Chinese economic history. I have taught many Chinese students. I have been engaged in many research programs. Do I find China a threat to the United States? No, not at all.
What if China invades Taiwan? It seems increasingly likely in the next 3 years.
Well, the thing that would make it most likely, as I have said to Taiwanese friends and senior officials, is for the United States to be shipping armaments to Taiwan, because the United States is doing exactly what it said it would not do. It said 40 years ago, actually a little more than 40 years ago, in a very important and famous communique, that the United States not only observes the one China policy, but it has no intention of providing arms to Taiwan over the long term, and that it is going to taper off its arms supply to Taiwan. So in this sense, I think the United States, as usual, is stirring up things. Is it really smart, for example, for the Speaker of the House over the objection of Beijing to fly to Taiwan? I think it's absolutely reckless and stupid. Do I think it's in Taiwan's interest? Absolutely not. It's exactly what we were talking about with Ukraine. Do I think that arming Ukraine and telling Ukraine we've got your back really helps Ukraine? No, I think it puts it at the greatest risk of its survival. So we don't know how to calm down a little bit, give a little space. I believe Taiwan's part of China. I believe in the one China policy myself. I don't believe in the United States unilaterally sending armaments to China 42 years after we said firmly that we're not going to do that for the long term. So I don't believe in it, no.
You're very trusting, Professor Sachs. Russia, China,
I
both get a pass from you?
I want to have normal, mutually respectful relations with other countries. I actually happen to like Chinese civilization. I think that they've done a wonderful job of economic development over the last 40 years, the most successful for any large area in the whole world. I've seen a lot of it close up. And I want to have mutually respectful, calmer relations, not arms races, not AUKUS, not new nuclear powered submarine bases in Australia, and new military bases being announced in the Philippines, and, by the way, building huge new NATO bases in Romania. This isn't the way to peace. This is the way absolutely to spiraling violence and war. And I'm against it. I think you talk with others, you have diplomacy, you negotiate, you don't call them names, you sit down and you work out mutual security interests, which I absolutely believe in.
Are there any bad guys in the world? I mean, are you a fan of Kim Jong-un, North Korea?
I'm not a fan of these people. I want to have normal relations with them. That's another interesting case, by the way. We said in the late 1990s, we will take steps for building a relationship so that North Korea would not become a nuclear-armed nation. And then John Bolton came in 2002, said, that's all stupid. We don't have to do anything with these people, and so on. So where are we today? Of course, we're in a vastly more dangerous situation than we were 20 years ago, no thanks to any U.S. common sense.
What would you have done with Hitler in 1939 when he invaded Poland?
We did what we did, which was to fight him after every evil and perfidy.
We actually appeased him. Well, we appeased him first. Neville Chamberlain thought he got a peace deal because he thought, you know, he was very sort of generous in his view of Hitler and his intentions.
Yeah, I don't think that the generosity was right. I think the intention to negotiate was right, but then Hitler exposed himself for completely what he was.
You know that quote about appeasing. You know that quote about appeasing crocodiles.
Yeah, but by the way, it was not to make too much of a point of it, because Chamberlain was not very clever or astute to go back.